Today I'm going to share how to use Google Slides to help create writing assignments in the elementary grades. So one thing that you can do with Google is you can search for templates. So I went to the template gallery and I looked up picture book. And so in second grade, one thing that we're trying to do is utilize nonfiction text features. And one way we're doing that is by creating writing assignments and creating our own nonfiction text books. So we research an animal and then we create our own book. So this template is the one that we use, this book template. But there's also this picture book template if you wanted to use that for other grades, and you can create your own template as well. So it automatically creates a copy of this template. And then when I go to share it via our Google Classroom with students, I make them create a copy of it, and then they can type and edit in this document. And you can create your own, like I said, by just changing some modifications to a Google slide. So you can use a template that's already created, or you could make your own. And then by just clicking the plus button, you can add a slide or a page. So this is where I had them type their text. I also had them create a page for a glossary, and they could even create an index if they so chose. So I'm going to show you some examples using this template, but then I'm also going to show you how you can create your own template for both a newsletter and some writing pieces. So if I go to our Google Classroom, one of their assignments was our nonfiction writing. So here is where I put in the link that they could click on, and they could make as many as they wanted. And this is the copy of the template. Notice how I deleted the end of that link and typed the word copy so that it would automatically make them make a copy of that document. So if I look at their nonfiction writing, can pull up a few examples. They had some choices. They were able to insert photographs, add some bold print, some of the text features that we had discussed. So Aubrey wrote about boxers, and then she was able to do captions, photograph, bold print, and then this is where she typed her final project on boxers. So she drafted it, and then we used Google Slides as our final publishing piece. She also added a glossary to help the reader. So using this template is a choice, but you can also just go to your drive, and if you create a new slide, it always comes out looking like a slideshow view. But there are some modifications or edits you can make to make it look like a book or a sheet of paper. So when I go to File, there are some options below with page setup. So right now it's at widescreen. If I click Custom, I can choose an 8.5 by 11. So it looks like the size of a piece of paper. Now, when I make copies of this, it will automatically be paper size, and it will print that way as well. So they could make their own format of a picture book, or using different features, they can insert an image. What I really like about using Google Slides is it does make it look a little bit more finished. And it's a little bit easier for them to insert images versus when they're using Google Docs. They have to wrap the text and kind of modify that feature, so that's a little bit more challenging for the younger grades. So this is a really nice feature to have. You could create your own template with background and text boxes and then make a copy of it and share it with all of your students. So I can always share this with my Google Classroom. So that they automatically have this link. You could even make it so we can all work on one together. Maybe they're each in charge of a page of text. So that's one thing that you can do with Google Slides. Another way you can use Google Slides is to use your classroom newsletter as a slide instead. And you can do it very similarly to the way I was showing you with the nonfiction books. You can just adjust the settings on the page setup, or you can also search for templates. So if I go to the template gallery, click on newsletter, there are lots of different templates to choose from. So I could choose this kindergarten newsletter, or I could even upload one of my own and insert it into a Google slide. So I'll show you how to do that in a second as well. So basically all you're doing is changing the page setup. What I really like about this is then I hyperlink all of my important dates or sign-up sheets, and it's all in that newsletter, and then I share it out on my Facebook page. So here's a template that someone created that's using a Google slide. So basically Google Slides can be modified to look exactly like a Google Doc, but the nice thing is it looks more finished and I think a little more professional when you insert images and text boxes. It tends to look a little bit more like a newsletter would versus just a typed document. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and we purchased, our grade level purchased some newsletters templates, and we have just transferred them into a Google slide. So let's see, when I go, just go down. So you can obviously add text boxes and make your own, add some images. These are just text boxes. And then what's really nice, like I said, is I have linked it, but you can also insert a video. So let's say if I delete our birthdays here, and maybe we're working on telling time, and we watched an informational video together, what I could do is I could insert a video and find the one that we used. We actually used this one. Put it into that box. And then it's a link for parents to click on via your Facebook page, or if you email it out, all they have to do is click on this and students can watch it. So it's a really nice way to add some visuals. You can add photographs if you would like into your newsletter. But like I said, I used it a lot to insert links so that when we were having different signups, parents were able to access it by clicking on the link that was in that newsletter. Like I said, you can obviously do this on a Google document, but the really nice thing about Google Slides, it looks a little more professional, and there are a lot more modification options to make it look a little bit more unique. So these are just two ways that we have been using Google Slides, both with writing and with sharing information with parents. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I would be happy to set up a time to meet with you.